The lead up to my attending Living Free, it's interesting because I was invited to attend an encounter camp some years ago at another church, and I basically ran away from that opportunity. My life up until that point always wanted to avoid confrontation, and I was probably scared to get involved in something where I would have to reveal and take down the mask that I had carefully put on for others to see. The opportunity came for a Living Free weekend, and my wife, with her encouragement, that I felt comfortable to go along, but I was still a very reluctant participant. Having made that decision, I was pleased that I had attended. My whole sort of Christian walk up to that point of time, I was focused on failure, and it was always a question of not being good enough for God. It just felt like I was pushing this wheelbarrow around that was getting heavier and heavier, and these bricks, the enemy was using to build a wall between me and God. I knew something had to change, and I was certainly hoping that Living Free would be the catalyst for that change. And in that weekend, the understanding of that there are other things at work that are preventing us from living that freedom and experiencing that intimate relationship with God that was at play certainly helped me in having an improved relationship with God. As people started to open up their lives and the things that they were going through and to be transparent, I felt able to share at a deeper level than I've ever done before what was going on in my life. And as the weekend progressed, I was able to find freedom, a greater sense of freedom in my walk and relationship with God that I hadn't been experiencing up until that point in time. That heavy load that I had before attending a Living Free weekend has pretty much disappeared. If I find that the enemy is trying to lay condemnation and guilt and shame on me again, I find that I can get rid of those sort of issues so much quicker, and it doesn't impede my relationship with God. Whereas before I would almost collect them in the wheelbarrow and just be, burdened down under the weight of all this self-condemnation that I wasn't good enough. And that's the major thing that's been lifted off my life, is that condemnation that I'd never be good enough. And it's not no longer a performance person, but can live in that freedom, knowing that I'm acceptable to God and I don't have to earn His favour by what I do. I think I share the view of many others who have attended Living Free, in that having been a Christian for quite a few years, I probably regret not having embarked upon an encounter before, but now having attended Living Free, I realise that it's something I should have done many years ago, because I could have had such freedom and not have gone through some of the valley experiences that I had in otherwise.